Howdy, it's Jim Morado. On my way, actually I'm driving back from Mammoth Cave recently. This was late January 2021, coming back from a nice trip to Mammoth Cave, heading towards Campbellsville, Kentucky. A little town that's really grown on me. Yeah, quite a bit over the last couple years. I stop here. Anytime we go to Mammoth Cave, I like to kind of take the back roads, and we sort of end up going through Campbellsville. And it's a nice little town. I've a few places in particular that have stuck out to me. They've got a great post office. I've stopped at their post office a few times. I love post offices. And they've got a nice crew that works there, real friendly people. Yeah, so I like the post office in town. And we'll see a couple of these places here in a little bit. There's a little coffee shop, Hardened Coffee, and we'll stumble by there here in a little bit. But Hardened Coffee is just a great little independent coffee shop in this town, and it's it would be a great coffee shop even in a Lexington or Louisville. It's kind of in a nice old building. They fixed it up real nice, and they have good drinks. Yeah, I just like that place quite a bit. But yeah, they especially have a coffee there I like, the Woodsman. It's one of their roasts they do, and it's just really nice, and I like it a lot. They've Hardened Coffee. I've liked it since the first time I stopped there, but they were a new coffee shop for a while, working through some issues, but they've done a good job, and they've really developed into just a really nice little coffee shop. So, yeah, I like them a lot. And there's also the Sweetwater bookstore right beside Hardened Coffee. And, man, they've just got a nice selection of books. I've found some really cool, kind of obscure titles in there. And some local and regional books. They have a nice selection, and they're friendly little people working there. They also sell a lot of, they sell vintage clothes. They have an upstairs area where they have some kind of vintage clothes, and they always have I don't know if ephemera is the word or not, but I recently bought like a nice poster of, it looks like vintage national park stickers on a nice big poster, and they sell stuff like that. They'll have some old prints sometimes, and some kind of unique artsy postcards. It's a really neat place to find something very unique for someone if you're looking for a nice gift. Over towards my left there, we just kind of went past the bookstore and Hardened Coffee. But, and they also have a Druthers. And I don't know if you remember Druthers restaurants or not. It was kind of a regional chain, kind of a burger place. I remember their radio jingle. I'd rather go to Druthers Restaurant. I remember that on the radio, and I remember there was one in Owensboro. But the very last Druthers, I believe the only Druthers left anywhere, is here in Campbellsville, and we'll be walking by it here shortly. Also, just for what it's worth, up here on the right, I believe, there's a radio station. Yeah, not down there. That's a nice looking alley. There's a little radio station, and I just think it's kind of neat that they have their own radio station down here on this corner. Kind of like with Hodgenville, though, I'm always thinking, wouldn't it be cool if they actually had a little DJ in there playing records live and in person and just kind of talking about what's going on in the community? So maybe they do during the week. I'm always here on the weekends, though. But yeah, they have their own little radio station down here. And we'll see it here in just a moment. They have a really cool mural, a really cool Civil War mural that I'm very, very, very fond of. And we're going to see it here in a moment. But there's several historic markers down by this mural. And I wanted to go ahead and just read a few of these historic markers because I like them so much. One is about the courthouse burned during the Civil War. General Highland B. Lyon with 800 men invaded Kentucky December 1864 to enforce CSA draft law and divert USA from Nashville. In 23 days, he burned 7 courthouses used by Union forces. The courthouse at Campbellsville was burned December 25th. Some records were saved. Desertions had reduced ranks to 250. and Lyon moved out of state via Burkesville January 3rd. And then there's also one about Brigadier General Elias Barbie, born 1763, died 1843, served in Revolutionary War from Culpeper County, Virginia. His 5 brothers, Daniel, John, Joshua, Thomas, and William, also served in Revolution. Elias Barbie came early to what is now Taylor County, lived 8 miles northwest of Campbellsville. He was appointed major in 1792, colonel in 1797, and brigadier general in 1799 in Kentucky militia, 16th Regiment, Greene County, Kentucky. Represented Greene County in Kentucky Senate. In 1822, Senator Barbie introduced a bill in the Senate calling for establishment of the present Kentucky School for the Deaf at Danville, Kentucky. Bill drawn up by Judge John Rowan, passed by legislature and signed by Governor Adair, establishing on April 10, 1823, first state-supported school for the deaf in the United States. And I just thought that's kind of cool. There's a few more mentions there too, but yeah, we're over by the mural, just kind of looking around. There's the college. Oh well, over kind of looking towards the college there. But yeah, we're by the big mural, which is pretty spectacular, and it really stands out. If you're driving through town, you'll definitely see it. There's a little war memorial that's really nice. There's a little fountain that I passed by, and I just thought it was really cute. And wanted to mention too, real quick, I found ColumbiaMagazine.com has an article about the Taylor County Courthouse mural here in Campbellsville, and by Paul Patton. It says the mural on the Taylor County Courthouse depicts the moving of Union troops down Main Street in Campbellsville on their way from Lebanon to Nancy, Kentucky, where they engaged in the Battle of Mill Springs, which was fought in January 1862. The 3 officers pictured in the mural were the 3 highest military officers to pass through Campbellsville during the Civil War. In the center is General George Thomas. On the left is Colonel Robert McCook, who later became a general. The man on the right is Colonel Mahlon Manson, who also became a general later in the war. Colonel McCook and Colonel Manson were brigade leaders under General Thomas. And that's just some interesting information. That mural, though, if you get a good look at it, if you get right up on it and look at the faces, they're very, almost photo-like. And I almost wonder if maybe some locals may have posed for some of the citizens you see in that picture. It's a cool mural. And just real quick, wanted to mention a couple of other signs. Campbellsville settled about 1800, town established by legislature 1817, was made seat of government when county was formed. It was named for Adam and Andrew Campbell, who, with 3 brothers, came from Virginia, settling on father's land grants. Adam and Andrew among founders of town. Andrew died 1819. Adam was a prominent farmer and leader in Taylor County affairs. Kentucky's 100th, established by legislature 1848, formed from part of Greene County, named for General Zachary Taylor, famed Kentucky soldier, noted as an Indian fighter. Fort Harrison, War of 1812, Black Hawk War 1832, Florida Seminoles 1837, defeat of superior Mexican forces at Battle of Buena Vista 1847, made him a national hero, elected president 1848. Another sign talks about the Confederate raids. General John Hunt Morgan's cavalry, returning from 2nd Kentucky raid here December 31st, 1862, took supplies, went on to Tennessee on raid. Union's rail supply line wrecked and $2 million property destroyed. Morgan through here again after 3 hours battle at Tebbs Bend, July 4th, 1863, continued raid into Indiana to northeast Ohio, were captured July 26th. So yeah, lots of just neat little historic markers. We're driving out of town now, but yeah, this is just a nice little town. There's I believe an old Long John Silver's, which is now repurposed. I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, we've been going. We'll sometimes go from Lexington down to Mammoth Cave, and I'll usually put in Hardened Coffee in my GPS and just sort of route us. It adds, I think, to get to Mammoth Cave, it's a little over 2 hours, depending on how you go. This definitely adds a good half an hour, 45 minutes to the trip. But it's nice stopping in Campbellsville. Like I said, Hardened Coffee, they open kind of early, and I can drive from Lexington, stop, and if I plan it out and get up early enough, we might even have some time to read inside of Hardened Coffee, which I think of as quite a treat. And then we drive on down to Mammoth Cave in that area. Something for you to think about if you're you're going down to Mammoth Cave from central or kind of more eastern Kentucky. And it's a neat little town. They've got quite a bit going for it. And like I said, a bookstore and a coffee shop in a really attractive downtown area. That's a pretty big win for me. Those are two things, pretty much any day. There's an old, I think, repurposed lease chicken. Just about any day. Oh, and there's the post office. I love that post office. And I just wanted to get them in the picture there real quick. But yeah, if you're driving across the state, Campbellsville is one of those towns that if you can kind of route yourself through it, you should think about doing that. That's just my opinion there. You see some little more of the country than just the interstate. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Just a little bit about Campbellsville. Thanks.